Morning, we're jumping right in. We haven't given any sort of notice. We're a little bit later today. Usually we started at about 10 or so. But we're on just a little bit later. Had a little something to take care of. But Jordan here from Rathcoole, Belfast City Mission, along with my helpful assistant, whose name I can't remember.
Willow.
Oh, Willow, of course. And so we're going to start just in a little moment or two to read the next part of our story. Just before we do that, as people maybe are tuning in. What is that? My goodness. Willow's going to show us some more toys that she got at Christmas time from Santa Claus. This is one. This is not mine, by the way. I can't even remember what these are called.
Poopsies.
Poopsies. Now, what do they do?
They get slime out of their bottom, or they be sick.
So we put slime comes out of their bum, or they be sick. Such marvellous toys these days. And look at the size of this bad boy. You can't even fit it all into the screen. Look at that. What is that? An ambulance, and that was what was making the noises, wasn't it? So this is what we'll got at Christmas time, and we've been really enjoying them and playing with them, and we're still playing with them now, which is really good, because some people get things for Christmas and then they don't really play with them. Sure they don't?
No.
So there we go. A few people on there. We can see Paco. That's Grace and Sarah's daddy. We'll give him a wave. Look, he's watching. And so we're reading the next part of our story. So I say we'll wait just a little moment. There's Willow's big head on the screen. Look at that. My goodness. My goodness. And we'll have this too, don't we? This is our cheetah, who's with us all the time. Does cheetah got a name?
Sheila.
Sheila the cheetah. That's pretty clever. But we don't play any games with her, sure we don't, because she's a cheetah.
Yeah.
That's a joke. Anyway. So we were reading yesterday about the Tower of Babel, and this story is called The Son of Laughter. And this is about God's special promise to Abraham. What are you doing? Okay. We find this story in Genesis chapter 12, right through to Genesis 21. Years passed, and things didn't get any better. People were still just as cruel and mean to one another. They still got sick and died. God's world was still full of tears. It was never meant to be like this. But God was getting ready to do something about it. He was going to make all the wrong things right. And he was going to do it through a family. Abraham, God said, "How many stars are there?" God was about to tell his friend a wonderful secret. Do you know how many stars there are in the sky? No.
Like 1,000?
Like 1,000. Let me see, Abraham said, and he rolled up his sleeves and he got his fingers out. One.
Like infinity.
Like infinity. 993, 994, 995, 997. Oh, 1, 2, 3. He kept losing count. There's too many, he said. And guess what? God said. He said, "I'm going to give you so many children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren that you won't be able to count them either." Abraham couldn't help but have a little giggle at such a wonderful idea, but he stopped himself. How could he have a family? He didn't have any children, let alone grandchildren. And he wiped away a tear. What are you doing there? Anyway, it was far too late for him to start having babies at his age. Do you know what age he was? He was 99 years old.
What?
No. What could God mean? God said to Abraham, "Abraham, believe me." And then God told Abraham his secret rescue plan. Abraham, I will make your family very big, God promised. Until one day your family will come to number more than even all the stars in the sky. And Abraham looked up at the dark night sky, and it was thick with stars. You will be my special family, my people, and through you everyone on earth will be blessed. It was an incredible promise. God was going to rescue the world through Abraham's family. One of his great grandchildren would be the child, the promised one, the rescuer. But Abraham said, God, this is too wonderful. How could it be true? Is anything too good to be true, said God? Is anything too wonderful for me? Thank you. So Abraham trusted what God said more than what his eyes could see, and he believed. Now when Abraham's wife, a woman called Sarah, heard God's promise, she just laughed to herself. But it wasn't a happy laugh. It had tears in it. She'd always wanted a baby. Could she really have a baby when she was, you know what age she was? She was 90 years old. Could her dreams come true? No, of course not. Don't be silly, it was far too late. Sarah didn't believe God could do what he promised. She had forgotten that when God said something, it's as good as done. Of course, it was as easy for God to give her a baby son as it was for him to make all the stars in the sky. I'm going to put that away, you. And sure enough, 9 months later, just as God had promised, Sarah gave birth to a baby boy, and they named him Isaac. And Isaac means son of laughter. And Sarah laughed, but this time it was a glorious, a happy laugh. And her dream had come true. God would do as he promised. He would always look after Abraham's family, his special people. And one day, God would send another baby, a baby promised to a girl who didn't even have a husband. But this baby would bring laughter to the world and so much more. This baby would make everyone's dream come true. And do you know who that baby was? Who do we celebrate at Christmas time? Yeah, who was it?
Jesus.
Who was it?
Jesus.
Shout it for me.
Jesus.
It was Jesus. That was the baby Jesus. And so that's the story of how Isaac was born to Abraham and Isaac, Abraham and Sarah. Even though Abraham and Sarah were really old. And you know, when God tells us something, when God makes us a promise, God always keeps his promises, doesn't he? And God promises that he's always with us, and he'll never leave us, and he'll never forsake us. And you know, when God makes a promise, he doesn't lie. That's right. He doesn't break it. And so look, Maud's been watching. Maud's from Shore Road, the city mission down in Shore Road. And do you know who that is there? That's Nanny Fi. Give Nanny Fi a wave. And there's Paula. Paula's a GB captain. Oh. And so she's watching too. They're listening to our story today. And so tomorrow, what is it tomorrow? Tomorrow's Saturday. Maybe not tomorrow. Monday. The next part of our story.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yes, that's right.
Wednesday, Friday.
Thursday and then Friday. But anyway. So we'll be looking at Abraham and Isaac tomorrow. That's the story from Genesis 22. But Willow is absolutely captivated with the camera here and showing everybody her big head. And so we're going to say cheerio, and we will see you again next time. Yeah? Give a wave. Okay? Bye-bye.
Bye.